Hey there, my friend, and welcome to the Disney Travel Secrets Podcast. If you are new to the show, we are your hosts and travel agents, Rob and Kerri Stuart, and we are in the Creating Magic Vacation studio right next to Disney in beautiful Windermere, Florida. You're listening to episode number 411, original air date, December 30th, 2024.
And thank you so much for joining us on our last show of 2024. And it is our 411th overall since we started in March of 2017.
This week, we're going to share some awesome experiences that will help you plus up your next Walt Disney World vacation.
And these are outside the bubble, but we're not going to talk about restaurants like we did in show number 407. These are events that people travel to anyway. So think concerts, sporting events. I will say they were kind of inspired by Taylor Swift's Eras Tour and that whole thing of travel around those last year.
Which we did not go to, just to be clear.
We did not.
And of course, we're going to share some of our personal experiences, and specifically here at Camping World Stadium in Orlando.
So it's the holidays, so let's get to it.
Welcome to Disney Travel Secrets with your host, Rob and Kerri Stuart, the founders of Creating Magic Vacations and authorized Disney vacation planner. They are still a very popular Disney podcast, and not just with their friends and family. Every Monday for over 5 years, they've been bringing you the best and most up-to-date information about all things Disney, the parks, the cruises, and also the luxury of Adventures by Disney. Make sure to follow them on Instagram, where they share content that's mentioned on this very show. Now, here comes the rope drop.
We are really happy with the response we're getting for our private ABD Adventures by Disney trip. And that is next September. That is the Disneyland and Southern California trip.
It's going to be so epic. And that doesn't mean that we still don't have spots left, because we do. The group is going to be a total of 40 guests, including us. And when it sells out, you will know.
I think we're 18, 20-ish. I have 2 calls today, so we'll probably get 20. And then we may even add a second date for this specific trip. But what we really want to do is, in particular, the one Adventures by Disney trip that we missed.
I know. So that was England and France. And then plus we also want to do Italy with ABD. And I want to do Christmas markets with that group.
We're doing Christmas markets.
Yes.
So, okay, for now, let's talk about things to do here in our own backyard. And that is right outside the bubble at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, there really is so much to do if you travel to Disney. And we're not saying in the parks.
This week is our annual College Football Bowl week. Other than just a couple of years, I've been doing this since like 2001, I think. And that's when I joined the team selection committee for the Outback Bowl. And I had a blast traveling to some of the key SEC and Big Ten matchups. I got to say, the SEC is way better at tailgating. Not to offend you Big Ten fans.
I know. So we started dating in 2005. And when you were doing that bowl, that was kind of like a big thing for me to go to some of these things. And it was actually really fun, though, just being able to pretty much go anywhere because you had carte blanche. And that included going on the field, doing suite hopping during the game. And then one year we got to meet Tim McGraw on the field. And then I remember you're like, well, where's Faith Hill? We need to go find her suite.
Almost being the key word in that sentence, because we did not get all the way up there. For those of you joining us on YouTube, you're seeing that picture of the 3 of us, me, my wife, and Tim McGraw. And this is on the field at Raymond James Stadium. I have no idea who was playing because, frankly, we didn't care.
No, we didn't really care.
We just liked going and participating in the events. And I'm glad I could find the picture because this was back in 2010. So thank you, Facebook. The magical tan Outback Bowl jacket that gave us carte blanche at every single SEC Big Ten school we went to. It did not get us into Faith Hill's suite. There was like extra security.
It did not.
Excuse me, sir. Do you see the jacket? Do you see my pass? Yeah, didn't work.
Didn't matter. And then a few years later, your friend Brett, who was working for ESPN, got hired to start the bowl game in St. Petersburg. So you kind of got recruited to be on the board over there.
I did. We were both on the board for that bowl. We also did some video work for them and also for ESPN. But that bowl has changed its name so many times. It started out the St. Petersburg Bowl, then the Magic Jack, then it was the Bit Pay, and then it was something else. Bad Boy Mowers. Yeah. Now it's the Gasparilla Bowl. But when we moved to Orlando, I reached out to a friend of mine who I met while traveling to one of the SEC games we were covering back in probably 2008. And I said, hey, are you still with the bowl, which used to be the Capital One Bowl? It's now called the Citrus Bowl. And he said, yes. He goes, you need to come join us.
Yeah, so we got a membership right away. And our seats are in a private suite, which is kind of cool. But here's what's awesome is it not only includes the bowl games like the Pop-Tarts Bowl and the Citrus Bowl, but it also includes every event that happens there. So we're talking concerts, sporting events, including the World Cup games in 2025 and your favorite Monster Jam.
Yeah, not so much.
We hated that one though. It's so loud.
But one World Cup game that is going to get soccer fans excited probably around the world, and that is Juventus FC versus Man City, Manchester City, and that is on June 26th, I believe.
Yeah. So a few of the concerts that we've been able to go to because of our membership is Red Hot Chili Peppers.
They were awesome.
And then back in November, we went to Pink. So
yes.
good.
Pink. I will say my favorite, I'm an 80s guy, Def Leppard with Journey. Actually, I like Journey better than Def Leppard. I don't know why Def Leppard was the headliner, but I digress. But also they had Cheap Trick, which I know Robin Zander, I think him and at least one other person from Cheap Trick, they live in Tampa. So our membership also gives us access to tickets that are there before they go on sale to the public. And because we know the stadium so well and we know that, where to sit, we pick some seats for an upcoming concert. Not my cup of tea per se. We're buying these to, provide them maybe to our clients. And that is Post Malone and Jelly Roll on June 10th over at Camping World.
Yeah. And so this is part of what they're calling the Big Blank Stadium Tour.
Okay, that was very family friendly of you.
That's not the name of the tour. But we have our suite tickets, and then we also have 6 club level seats in addition. So we are going to save those for people that want to add that concert to a Disney trip.
So if you want to add Post Malone and Jelly Roll, go to creatingmagicvacations.com. And for the trip description, just put in Post Malone. Keep in mind, we're doing this as part of a Disney package. We are not selling these as standalone tickets yet.
Yeah, so we kind of came up with this idea because this past year, the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift really highlighted traveling to a destination because of an event.
And this really got us thinking. There are some really good concerts that come here every year, but specifically Orlando in 2025. So what better way to fit in an event and a trip to Disney World?
Yeah, it definitely will plus up the overall Walt Disney World trip.
And here are some great events. For the sports fans, you have the NFL Pro Bowl that is on February 2nd. That might be a little bit late to grab this as part of a Disney resort kind of package. However, if you do want the Pro Bowl, we're not going to go to this. We'll sell you our tickets. But maybe for 2026, because we do have the Pro Bowl tickets here at Camping World every single year.
Yeah, so the other big sports event that we had mentioned is the FIFA Cup World Cup in 2025. And that is from June 24th to July 4th, also at Camping World Stadium.
So now let's talk concerts. And some of the big ones are Shakira. Again, not my cup of tea. That's June 4th. But again,
I think she would be great.
I'm sure she's a great performer. Unless she's going to get up there and play 80s rock, I'm probably not going to be interested. But also, as we mentioned, Post Malone and Jelly Roll, and they're going to be here on June 10th.
And those are both going to be really big. But then over at the Kia Center, also downtown, Rascal Flatts is coming in April, and so is Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue is from the 80s.
She is from the 80s.
I do know that.
Okay, well, she'll be there in April, so maybe.
And I got to meet a couple of guys in Rascal Flatts because a friend of ours who I haven't seen for a while, he was the tour manager for Rascal Flatts, and then before that it was Reba McEntire, and now he's the tour manager for Jason Aldean. So we got to meet some really cool people because of him. Now, of course, there are some other great venues to visit while you're here in Walt Disney World for your Disney vacation. There are some really cool shows at Hard Rock Live over at Universal. They have concerts and comedians. I know that as part of our Celebration Exotic Car Festival event, we got to see REO Speedwagon at that venue. I'll say, Hard Rock Live Universal is a really good place to see anything, whether it's, a comedian, I
think it's better for comedians. I didn't really like it for the concert venue, but that was just the acoustics there.
You know what? I totally forgot. Well, and part of it was we're seeing REO Speedwagon, and Bruce Hall was not feeling well, so he only played the last couple songs. But fortunately, we did get to meet him during the cocktail hour.
Yeah, so starting in just a couple of weeks, and these are really just through March to give you an idea of the talent that they get. You have Sarah Silverman. She'll be there in January. You have Joe Gatto.
And these are literally just a couple of weeks away.
These are just right away. You have Larry the Cable Guy, who's going to be there in March. And then Howie Mandel will also be there in March as well. I remember back
in the 2008 or 2009, we were hanging out with Howie Mandel.
Yeah, we did. We met him. I think we weren't really hanging out. We just met him. We just met him.
We were at the same restaurant.
We were at the same restaurant. That
is close enough. So also, again, Melissa Etheridge. I'll tell you who I actually probably am going to go see. I would love to see Alice Cooper.
Yeah, he's coming in February.
And then This is the one that kills me. Kansas, who we went up to, was it Jacksonville?
That was Jacksonville.
St. Augustine,
last year
for
your birthday. Yeah,
that was my birthday present a year ago. They're playing February 1st, and again over at Hard Rock Live, but it's February 1st. And that's our checkout day for Agent Palooza. And this year we're staying at the Contemporary, and we're going to stay next night and just hang out with our agents. Otherwise, I would be at this show. I'm tempted though. February 2nd, they are playing Hard Rock in Tampa.
No, not coming up.
I'm tempted. Yeah. But I actually, the signed drum kit, the drum cover,
Okay.
all my Kansas stuff is right here. You can't see it, but it is really cool.
So a couple of little pro tips though, if you are planning to do one of these combo Disney and event trips, because I think these sound really fun. Number one is you need to know about Camping World Stadium, and getting there by Uber can kind of be a challenge. And so if you can get a parking pass and you do have a car, you will probably want to do that. The Uber pickup after the concert is one of the worst that we have ever been exposed to.
Even our private driver, who, Sam from Fleet, he's like, okay, I'll drop you off. I'm not picking you up. I'm not going to. And we went to, to the Pink concert. And even getting there was a train wreck. So I will tell you this is the absolute best way to get to Camping World Stadium if you have access to a private helicopter.
If that worked out.
And they should add a helipad there.
It is something to know. And so you do need to budget extra time, and there will be surges, so budget extra money. Now, our other pro tip is when you are doing one of these combo trips, save what you're most excited about for the last thing you do. So it's kind of like saving dessert for the end. So if you're most excited about that Post Malone Jelly Roll concert, do your Disney stuff before and then end it with the concert.
We say the same thing. If you're going to do Disney and Universal, do Universal first.
Yep.
That really comes from, I guess, not just us, it comes from our clients that we've done those split, those split trips for. And they're like, we love the split stay. We made a mistake. We tell them, hey, do Disney last.
Save the best for last.
Okay, we should have done that.
Yeah. So we know it's a holiday week, and we thank you so much for listening or hopefully watching us on YouTube, because that's where you're going to see some of the things that we are talking about.
Interactive pictures, videos. We're going to start doing scratch and sniff, so only on YouTube.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Okay.
So we are working during the holidays, so we can help you with your 2025 vacations or beyond in some cases. Please reach out to us.
Yeah, just go to creatingmagicvacations.com and complete the plan a vacation form.
And again, if you want to be Post Malone, just type in Post Malone.
Yeah.
So next week is a great show to kick off 2025. And this is, you're going to love this, drum roll please, how to do Disneyland.
And this is the perfect show, especially if you consider yourself a Walt Disney World pro and you do plan to visit Disneyland, and maybe you want to do some of the 70th anniversary stuff, because you're going to learn, while it's similar, it is very, very different.
It's the same, but not the same.
But not the same.
Again, thanks, guys. Until next time, have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon in 2025.
Or 2026. Either way.